Something pretty massive is about to happen for crypto. And I've already said it over the past few days, but it's time to take a leap of faith. It's time to try something new. It's time to take that risk because like I just said, I think this is the biggest opportunity we will ever see in our lifetimes. And before you know it, it can be over. Now, I'll share with you a couple of different thoughts and a couple of reasons why this is so important and how much profit we could expect to make. So just to reflect back on something, do you guys remember a few days ago when this Trump coin came out, or maybe like 2 weeks ago or so? Anybody who was there paying close attention, who was in the right circles, was able to make a massive amount of profit on it because the coin just went so crazy. So one of my friends here just posted, I literally just got an Airbnb with some friends and we set up shop. And we're taking shifts to sleep so no one misses anything ever again. And I'm not even joking. New super meta is speed and network oriented. Just ordered an air horn in case a person awake finds a sender. Let's cook. To that, I'll state two things. One, make sure you put that notification bell on the channel. And because even though I sometimes miss things as well, first of all, we were pretty early into Trump. And second of all, at least if something broader, that's quite important, happens, I usually am here or I start up a live stream whenever I get the possibility to. So even though I do sometimes, unfortunately, still sleep, I do manage to hit most things. And as I always say, you can always ignore the notification, but you can never turn back time. And you sometimes wish you saw it earlier. That's one of the chances. So just make sure you put that notification on. And point number two is we have ourselves a Discord. And very soon I'll probably try to expand on the different verticals that we've got to make sure everybody can communicate with one another. Because I've realized that the most important thing in crypto is your network, the people you've got around you, the people you know. And the most difficult part in there becomes trusting the others and I guess understanding what everybody, I guess, goes for. Because if I bundle a group together right now, 15 people, there's a good chance that one person looks at a coin and says, this is going to go. This is going to change my life. Another person says, no, this is garbage. Who do you trust, right? And that you build over time, that you build with gathering more knowledge of your own. Which is again why I always tell people, make sure you watch a couple of different crypto videos, go to ChatGPT and print out a list, whatever, of what all the different cryptos do, at least like 10 of them or 15 of them, so you get a general gist of what you like, what you do not like. And I'll do the same on YouTube here very shortly. I will make a beginning to end guide, like maybe it's going to be an hour long or something. I might make it tomorrow, where I basically go over the most important things you need to know, most important things you need to look for, and I might just make a complete crypto guide in like a short condensed version because most people already know it, right? I mean, I've been here for almost a decade. I always think I know most things, but then whenever I talk to people that are not in my inner circle, I realize, whoa, there are so many things I do not know. Or sometimes, and I have this all the time, I speak to a 19-year-old kid, a 17-year-old kid, and they look at something completely different when it comes to crypto that I can still learn from because even though it's not something I generally trade or like necessarily, it can still make me tons of profit. And there comes my point number two. As I stated before, most people in my own circle are taking some ridiculous risks. Not by putting their freaking house on the line. I'm not saying, risk more than you're able to lose. I am mostly stating along the lines of, don't be so afraid of what if things go wrong. Be more afraid of what if I don't use this opportunity to the best of my ability. And again, I have to state this really carefully right now. First of all, I'm not your financial advisor. I do not want you to put any unnecessary risk forward in terms of your monetary plans. Don't put something in you can't afford to lose. But with me, I have a lot I can afford to lose. That's first of all. But I'm quite conservative with all of it still. I mostly think, but what if, but what it was. And that's cool. I think it's always wise to stay in the conservative capital mindset where you do not want to spend a lot of the money you've already gathered. But on an opposite angle, if I'm looking at Twitter, if I'm looking at YouTube, what I'm seeing right now is people taking these leaps where they go so crazy on altcoins with such conviction because they realize, and I stated this yesterday or 2 days ago, let's say you are right. Now let's say you're wrong. Let's start there first. What's going to happen? Your money goes down half, right? wow, sucks. Yeah, that must be awful. Your money goes down 60% in like one of the worst cases. Oh, that hurts. That's bad. But if we know that the general trend for Bitcoin is going to be upwards, then ultimately, if we're talking about Bitcoin, for example, all we need to do is just get ourselves more coins. And I kind of believe in that same trend for coins like XRP, which is why I always so heavily buy or talk about it. But basically, if we all believe that we're either at point number 1 or point number 2, but we are almost certainly going to point number 3, then the worst case, we bought at 1 and it looks annoying at number 2. But if we know we're going to 3 anyway, we might as well see this from the perspective of what if we are at 2, right? We don't know if we're at 1, we don't know if we're 2, but we're going to 3. So it doesn't really matter. It's going to look annoying on the short term, but we're headed there. And so in my own opinion, and ladies and gentlemen, I keep reminding you, this is not financial advice. This is my own opinion. The worst that can happen is going to look bad for a while, but as long as I'm buying solid fundamental altcoins, it's going to shoot up so ridiculously much that it does not matter. Now, again, we do this in the form of trading very often. The reason I told you guys I'm adding another $1 million to this position at right here at roughly 260 to 270, or right now I say, hey, you know what? It's actually quite easy to trade XRP. If you, for example, take the $3 mark, try to buy every single time it gets there, and if it breaks again, we have one little fault. In this case here, this might have been a stop out, but the moment it got back, it could have perhaps bought back in. Anyway, that's a story for a different day. The reason I often discuss about trading XRP or buying XRP or taking, millions of dollars worth of trades on this coin, for the most part, is because I believe in it so much. The worst that can happen is we go sideways or downwards for a while. You can see, if we're taking a look at the price right now, you can see, we've yet to make a choice. It's actually been going sideways or downwards. So this is but we know what comes after this, right? We know that afterwards, even though it could be along the lines of this first, afterwards is top. Afterwards is up, 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 up. So from that angle, is it not worth it to take a risk? And now a little side note, if you also want to trade over on BLOFin, if you use the link down below, we're actually giving away about $10,000 right now worth of XRP. It says 2,300, but I think I'll be able to up it to about, equal to $10,000 worth in the next 6 days or so. And it's basically for anybody who's trading over on BLOFin. And there's 2 competitions. 10 people will win, I guess this amount right here. Oh, never mind. I think we already upped it. You can see right here. I do not know exactly why the ranks are that crazy, but this person apparently is already winning themselves 4,000 XRP, 800 and 166 over on volume. I'm just going to probably up it to 10, maybe $20,000 or so, depending on how crazy it's going to get. I might even be able to up it for more. I'm not so sure. Maybe these numbers are bugged a little bit. Just know that right now it's a $10,000 giveaway. I might be able to get it to $20,000, $30,000. It's just for all the people that are trading on BLOFin, and I always say, if you're trading anyway, then you might as well take some use of these advantages or opportunities. Okay, quickly had a call with them because I was very confused. But basically, it's now about $16,000 that I'm able to give away as of this point. Number 1 is 1,600 XRP. Number 3 is 400 XRP. It's just wrong. Number 4 to 10, I'll get 200 XRP. In my opinion, it's still a pretty good little giveaway. It's supposed to be, I think, 6,000 XRP almost, if I calculate this right. 5,350, I think. Should be about $16,000. Anyway, check it out. Link is down below for that because it's basically free if you're trading anyway. And again, it's just 6 days. So yeah, 20 people will win something. And if you're wondering, it's just the first link in the description right there, this link. Now moving on, you might ask yourself, Dusty, why are you so adamant on taking that leap of faith right now? The 2 main reasons are right in front of you. First of all, we have the guy behind Tether, who, by the way, Tether is in so much trouble recently. But anyway, the guy behind Tether, you know what he said today? He said, today, a meeting that would change the course of history happened. Great minds around a table in El Salvador, together with all these articles of all these U.S. states that are trying to get a Bitcoin strategic reserve bill into consideration or going. And then also at the same time, Norway's central bank invests $500 million in MicroStrategy, or basically they're buying $500 million worth of Bitcoin stock, sort of, because that's kind of how this works. When you really start adding all these things up, and you can't see, this is just for all the people that are like, what are you talking? You can't see why this is the craziest opportunity of our life and why I'm going so hard on everything right now. Why I'm thinking of, let me just deposit my entire freaking balance into an exchange and just 100x long. Don't 100x long. I'm just, that's a joke, that part. Okay, please don't do that. No, a little bit lower leverage is nicer. But I'm saying just going absolutely crazy is because I really, really, really believe that from whatever perspective you look at it from, doesn't matter. This is worth the risk. Or rather, from another angle, I always say with $1,000, right? The $1,000, if I had that to play around with, I'll make again, but the opportunity I might never get again. And I don't want you guys to FOMO. I don't want you to feel like, oh, I should put everything in today, not tomorrow. No. I think generally speaking, it's okay to get your strategy in check, but just realize that a few months ago, I'm going to say a little bit over a year ago, I said, January 2025, I'm going to start cashing out. But as Trump came in and the market changed so much, I put that target forward. But we only have a few months, in my opinion, let's just say until January 2026, but maybe even sooner, to really make all your gains happen. And I think the massive run is still bound to happen a few months from now, maybe a few weeks, a few days, who knows? But that's the problem. We do not know if it's going to be tomorrow or a dip first and then the day afterwards. But I think you either see it or you don't. And some people will look at this video thinking, what is this lunatic talking about? But really, in my head, it's all so freaking clear. The path is so logical, and it's like a minimum 10x across this board. It's so simple. And I don't even know the best way to just describe it to people who don't get it. I think if you understand crypto, you understand the applicability. You understand that they're all looking at it for a very good reason, but they're all being quite conservative. Most people that make the decisions, I guess, have already made up their mind. They already know the plan, but realize this. Think about this properly, right? Think with me here. Let's say you are a country and you really think of getting yourself a reserve going. Or let's just say you are a very huge company that really wants to move big in this industry. Two things. One, you either make or start working with companies that facilitate in the transfer of it, like BlackRock is doing. Meaning they're not necessarily saying, hey, we want to buy up all the different currencies for ourselves. No, they basically are like, you know what? We know this industry will pop off. What we're going to do is make sure we make money whenever people buy and sell, or that we're the facilitators of it, which is what big companies would do as well. They might not necessarily buy everything themselves, but they'll set infrastructure up to make sure to benefit from the new area that blows up. Or second, they stay quiet about it, get themselves as much as possible, get themselves a nice foot in the door. But some public entities can't do that. For example, a lot of these entities like the Bank of America, etc., what they do is they share reports. That's a big part of their business. Is they have their clients. They have, for example, many assets and they want to do things. They ask for reports from their asset manager. And so those reports often get shared to the entire world, what they find in their findings. So with some of those companies, it's not as easy for them to take a step towards it discreetly. But that's not every company. Most companies already look at it, have been looking at crypto for 7-8 years. Many of them have known already they want to start getting into this, but either waiting for the right time or they're doing that while keeping you at bay. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, Trump was once very much against crypto, and now we figure out, oh, he's been working on these things for a long time. He's been looking at this for a long time. Second of all, Larry Fink, the CEO of the biggest asset managers in the world, BlackRock, who now just keeps going crazier and crazier on this industry and told everybody to get a portion of their entire wealth in it, basically. Again, 7-8 years ago, he was very much against crypto, but realized something changed. And the funny thing is, you do not see that change until they've already set themselves up right. Most of them don't go out to the public and say, oh, I really love this. No, what they do is they have meetings in the background while everybody's quiet. And now we're kind of lucky, I guess, that some people are sharing, that important minds are around the table. But realize, I think El Salvador and those guys, they're probably speaking to other world leaders to kind of make them do the same because they're seeing the potential. They understand what the beauty in it is. And recently, again, all these announcements that have been shared are basically around the idea that crypto is going to be going around. It's going to be going around. It's going to be going around. Policies are changing significantly. Before it was all, no, it's a scam. No, it's only used for illegal 𝗕𝗓𝗕𝗓𝗕. But that's changing right now as we speak. And so I keep telling you, right, this is the time to take that leap, in my opinion. Trump Media, new company came in. We'll talk about it later a little bit more. Also going to invest $250 million from cash reserves into funds, ETFs, cryptos, and custody to Schwab. Again, the link there being that banks, and through that, we'll also have this connection more and more towards crypto. It's all starting right now. It's all helping right now. Being helped right now. It's all coming up. Wow, right? Wow. Every single time I read these articles and things, I keep thinking, man, I need to just I need to empty the bucket of whatever I've got left to go crazy. But then I realize, you know what? With the trading system I've set up, it's okay. I can take it a bit slow. But that is also why I see a lot of people right now are thinking, I guess they're starting to think the same as me because the evidence is becoming too hard to dispute. What we're seeing in front of us right now, it's too hard to ignore. But again, let's get back to it by saying, hey, don't sleep anymore. I'm joking about that. But be a bit careful with staying too long a period away from this industry. I'm not saying this should be your life obsession like it is mine. Please, not what I'm saying at all. All I'm stating is make sure you at least have a couple of different sources you're paying close attention to, and start looking into getting yourself into better groups. This is a personal suggestion. I can't necessarily state that this works for everybody. I'm just stating if I look at my own. I have a little core circle of friends that share the news around with me whenever something crazy pops up, but I also have some researchers. I have a bigger team, so it's slightly different. But what we might be able to do as well is just set up another channel of sorts, maybe on Telegram, I don't know, where I just share some of the most important news bits. We could also do that, but I share most of the most important findings on the YouTube channel as well. And with most news pieces, it's not that crucial to find them the first second. Sometimes it's okay to find them a couple hours or a day afterwards, because they probably change your perspective on things. But very often, the moment we find the news, it's hard to trade on it anyway, unless you're really there the first second, the second second, or sometimes the first 30 minutes when it comes to like the Ripple lawsuit news and all those things of that sort. But that's quite rare, right? Then again, sometimes it happens, which is why some people are going to choose to not sleep for the next 3 months or so, or at least have on the clock. Because again, think about it. How long is this window? It's maximum 1 year, maximum 1 year. If you think about it, a little bit worse a rest period for 1 year to make up for 7 generations of wealth. I think it's a good equation. Anyway, guys, that was it for my little update right now. Take a leap of faith, go a bit crazy. Don't invest more money than you're able to lose. I already get about a 20 to 100, depends on which day, sometimes it's crazy, messages of people begging for money, or, oh, I lost everything. It will happen, right? Don't invest anything you're not able to lose. But even if you do, you're not the only one. I have seen thousands of people. Most people lie, but some people actually do because they go a bit crazy gambling the house. Don't do that. You need a roof over your head. On the opposite side, though, again, from a risk-reward perspective, right now is a very, very good time, a very crazy time, and I don't think you want to miss it. But yeah, that's about it for right now. Make sure you put that notification bell on though so you never miss out, or at least don't miss out on crucial things, because I usually cover them quite quickly.